You're crazy. I'm crazy. It's okay. We're all crazy. My name is Benjamin Foley, and I'm the founder of Foley Rich Life. And today is day 11 of the April Awakening series. And we're going to be talking about what some call the monkey mind, right? The battering of thoughts that are constantly going on in our head that oftentimes we're not even aware of. And that's a scary thing about meditation, mindfulness, and introspection in general. Is once you start looking in and going in and down into who you are and who your true self is, it's not fun. It's not always easy, guys. This isn't just this, esoteric laying on the field and just butterflies and sunshine and all these great grandiose visions of what, enlightenment or nirvana means. No, it's tough. It's difficult. Once you start becoming aware that you're having incessant thoughts and incessant thought patterns and worries and ruminations, it's not going to be fun, but it's necessary. Because, guys, those thoughts didn't just start happening. You just started to become aware of them. You just started to become aware of your craziness, just like I have. Like I said throughout this chapter or throughout this series, this video series, the reason I came to meditation was because I was having panic attacks. I was freaking out almost every day. I didn't know what to do. I tried religion. I tried praying. I tried high intensity interval training. I tried everything that you can imagine, the doctor, medication, all this stuff. And it felt just like the situation I was trying to get out of. I was continually looking, for external things to solve an internal problem. And that's where mindfulness came in. Is it made me stop and realize, wow, I never thought I was anxious before having my first panic attack, but I realized that I always have been. I've always had this, baseline anxiety of wanting to be somebody, or needing to do more, or wanting to get to the next thing. And that's what mindfulness really opened up for me, is understanding those tendencies, looking at them instead of being ignorant to them, and then starting to move into them more skillfully and more mindfully, right? And that's what mindfulness does. That's why meditation is so important, to really dive into your to be implemented into your daily routine, because you can take that practice into every ounce of your life and really start to see, okay, how am I responding here? And if you talk about it in terms of professional settings, it's a huge value add. It's something that you can really differentiate yourself from the next guy if you're able to think logically and skillfully under pressure. If you're able to understand why something's happening, or really start toning into your body and your mind, and listening to it, guys. A lot of people think that, when you're feeling depressed or anxious, that it's for some reason, right? It's the story we tell ourselves that, oh, I'm a bad person, or oh, I was born for this, or oh, I have a chemical imbalance. But that's false. And I'm sorry if you're sad and you're sitting there and saying, oh, I have a chemical imbalance, like I can never get better, all these things. And I understand that sometimes some people are on a different spectrum, but I will tell you this: there has never been a scientific study that has proven that depression and anxiety is caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain. It is caused by your lifestyle. It is caused by the incessant need to eat shit and do things over, and constantly keep wanting more, and being around bad people and doing things that you don't like. For me, I needed to change all of those different buckets, right? I needed to quit a shit job and start this business that is rewarded me every single day, and helping people with the impact and purpose, right? I loved mindfulness. I loved starting businesses, but it wasn't until I took that risk and really stepped into it that I started feeling more rewarded and more fulfilled by what I was doing. And at the same level, it wasn't until I started, looking into my diet and what I was eating, and putting better things into my body, because you're putting fuel in your body with what you're eating. And if you're eating poorly, that is what your output will be. And it's so simple how if people just look maybe at the simple solutions to your problems, the simple triggers, rather than oh, Jesus Christ thought that I did something, or the Buddha is so mad at me, or, the karma of my third grade teacher, like all of these really, really non helpful, okay, let's put it that way, non helpful, reactions to what's going on. It could be, yeah, you ate a bagel and your insulin spiked and your blood pressure went up and then way down. And then your body responded by being like, hey, stop eating like that. It could be that simple, and it could be that easy to locate. And so that's what I'm telling you guys. Mindfulness helps you become more aware of that. And then you have the space then by being like, okay, I just ate XYZ. Now I feel a little bad. Maybe that's the reason, right? You start honing in and learning from your body. I think these microprocessors that are throughout our entire body and our brains is the supercomputer that is literally amazing. Like the true word amazing. And it's telling you something. It's not wrong, guys. It's not wrong. There's nothing faulty with your system. You just are putting the wrong fuel in it. And that's what I want you guys to realize, that mindfulness is not the solution. It opens you up to what is wrong in your life, and it calms you down, and it makes you become present and in the moment. And from that space, from a grounded present state awareness, you can act more skillfully, and you can start living better, and you can break free of anxiety, and you can break free of stress by using mindfulness on a daily basis. And the point of this 30 days was to get you guys to start thinking every single day about maybe meditating for 4 to 5 minutes every single morning, right? Like, how much does your life how much do you value your life if you can't even give up 4 to 5 minutes a day to something that could drastically change your mental well-being, right? And for me, like, it took me a while to be like, okay, well, what is that worth? Or, well, like, I don't want to give up that time if it's not really going to help me. But it wasn't until I was like, no, this problem, my anxiety, my fear, is the biggest thing holding me back from what I want. It is the biggest limiting belief. It doesn't matter if I try to race after all these external things. If I don't solve this, I will still be an anxious wreck when I have those. And so go to the root, go to the source of all of your stresses, anxieties, and fears. Look internal first. Stop looking external for the easy fix. That is what meditation and mindfulness will be able to do. It just becomes so much. You become fluid being of what you're putting in your body and who you're around and your environment. And it just becomes so much more alive. And I promise you that if you just start practicing on a daily basis and really starting to pick up some of the things that I've been teaching, and so many other people, awesome people out there, like Tara Brock or Dan Harris on the 10% Happier podcast. There's so much great material out there, guys, about meditation, mindfulness. I'm just trying to urge you to go dive into it, guys, and it's amazing stuff. And there's so much science behind it if you're one of those people, or there's a lot of spirituality if you're one of those people. But at the root, it's the practice. It's the daily practice, the exercise of meditating and becoming aware of what you're thinking, how your body's feeling, and then not analyzing it, but being curious about it. And tomorrow we're going to talk about curiosity and how mindfulness can really make you more curious about what's going on internally and externally. So I can't wait to see you guys until tomorrow. We'll see you